Right, so slowly getting the back garden tidied up, which just includes, just hang on a second. Right, so sorry, we're tidying the back garden up and having a mini fire. So if you remember ages ago, I was going through piles and piles of paper and shredding loads of stuff. Sandra's been clearing out a load of her stuff, and we're just basically burning it. And I've had a car crash. So yeah, my fault technically. So I'm going to show you the car shortly, and some of the other bits and bobs we've been doing in the garden over the weekend. Oh, and a fox. So do you remember those Blink security cameras? So I've had one outside and we've captured a fox a few times, but it looks like we've got a fox and a vixen in the garden. I thought it was a cub. So just keep watching. I'm going to put some really nice footage of what our Blink cameras caught. Right, so that's just about everything burnt. From Sandra's pile of papers. You smell like a what?
Kipper.
Kipper? Smoke kipper. Right, let's grab those firelighters and go into the front garden. So the lid on there now, that can just keep going. Oh, dog poo. And the first sign in the springs is look. So things are emerging. Yeah, strange old month, January, goes on for a long time, and then all of a sudden spring has sprung. So we're going to run through what we've been doing. Hang on a minute. So go on, Sandra, so you can explain. So we're one of the few houses on this estate where we've not tarmacked over our garden, and that's been done deliberately. So we we have got a lay-by opposite and fairly safe on-road parking, but most houses now they just tarmac over, don't they? So we've not done that. Right, so we've got, what have we got here?
To be fair, that does still need a bit of a trim, but yeah, this is, buddleia has been cut back for the spring.
So the buddleia is it's a monster. It grows
about 2 foot every year, yeah. So it has to be cut back hard every year.
Good for butterflies.
I forget what this one's called actually. That doesn't grow so fast, so we just give that a tickle up. Taking all the grass out of the board here so you can finally see the primroses that we're trying to peep through. And then I've got wild geraniums in there as well for ground cover, so come the season. There's one here, but there's several down there that'll have nice purple flowers. That's what's the name of that one? That's nice yellow flowers.
So
Potentilla.
So the other really nice thing here on this one here is it April?
Springtime is absolutely its best on this board.
It's got its tulips, isn't it?
It's full of tulips. So they're not showing quite yet, but they will be soon. And I think there's quite a lot in this board actually. It's quite self-sustaining now. Obviously the new hedge in there, settling in nicely.
So that's the privet we planted a couple of months ago when I first come back. That was one of the first jobs I did, wasn't it? And again, I know we have shown you this, but so give this 2 years. So it's obviously we're in winter now, so all the greenery's gone. But this one here is waist height now. So they just started off little twigs with a little fence on it.
And we've got little bits of wallflowers in the bottom as well, quite pretty ones in there. This is actually I'm braiding gear today. That was your mum's originally. Fuchsia. So that's dyed back for the winter. There's a fuchsia that comes out in season. You've got the blackcurrant just behind. Got the holly bush pushing out nicely. Yeah, and then some roses behind. My cherry tree.
Cherry tree, which is getting very high. So what sex? Now then, do you know that holly trees have sexes, don't they? They have male and female versions. Did you know that?
They do. So the big one there is the male, and the little one here is the female.
So is it the females berry and the males don't berry?
Yeah.
Something like that. So yesterday we were cutting back a lot of stuff. So we have our local authority has a weekly collection of green waste and compostable waste. So the next few weeks we're going to be filling up the green bin. You can see all that what we ripped out yesterday, isn't it? I'll go through the top bit.
So we've got, yeah, so this is actually a mallow, but it's died back now. We've got lavender, a few other bits in there, honesty. The roses have been cut back hard, the bay tree's been cut back hard. That will be equinox when it comes back to life, but rosemary's doing pretty well still. There's not so much in that, well there is in that border, there's more fruit at the far end, so there's like domestic blackberry, raspberries, and then this will need a bit more planting in and seeds, and we've got the herbs at the back behind.
And those that will remember a couple of weeks ago we was talking about our water butt which had got a leak. I can't find where it is now. It's here.
That's the Angelica's divide. I'm very happy about that. That's my Angelica.
So what was this stuff somebody recommended to try and fix this leak here?
Milliput.
Milliput. Was it Milliput? So if, I think it's Milliput somebody's recommended to fix. So it's literally just a little hairline crack there. So we're going to try and fix the water butt rather than replace it.
Oh, and the primrose has come out on this side. It has survived. A miracle. Got foxglove up there. I've got more raspberries at the back. I've got what's it called? Toadflax, climbing rose, climbing honeysuckle. And I managed to survive my hops that I just started off last year, and we've got more roses along the back there.
Nice bird bath and bird feeder, Sandra. I'm not seeing it light up at night though.
No, me neither. I think we need something a bit prettier than the bricks as well, anyway.
So I bought back some big tent pegs when we came back last week. So one of the jobs we're going to be doing now is this ginormous holly tree started off literally to about, it wasn't even to there, was it? And my dad had planted this in the back garden, and about 2017, 16, 17 we were getting the conservatory put on. So that part of our garden where the conservatory is.
I wish I'd have filmed that. I remember, like, it wasn't even that big, and he was like a little gorilla, like swinging on the whole thing trying to get the roots out. It was very comical. It was very funny.
Calling me a gorilla?
You did look a bit like a little gorilla.
It was only about 3 4 high.
You were like
a gorilla.
You were like swinging on the whole thing.
He was screaming at me, going, "You killed it! You killed it! You don't know how to do things." This is probably worth about £1,000 now to go and buy this.
Well, no, you've hacked it back. It's not.
No. So to be fair, last January, a year ago, probably similar time of year, we cut this back, and it actually grown another yard in.
So I've just spotted, to be honest, while we were chatting, but this, to be fair, it just goes up. Well, there's a trim that one, you know. Going a bit wild.
No. So what we're going to do is the crown of this. Where are you, Sandra? The problem we've got is the crown of this is so high that it's going to start to get a little bit out of hand, and obviously we've got telegraph wires and things like that. So while Sandra's here, she can guide me, because I can't see when you're right on top of this. So what we're going to need doing. Oh yeah, sorry, my axe wound. Look at that. That's what I chopped my finger with the axe the other day. It was fine. I survived.
You're lucky you didn't break your finger.
No, I need to show you my car. My car's out. My poorly car.
Don't talk about the car.
Just wait till you see the car.
It's a good job I'm patient, Neil.
You're patient.
Very patient.
We'll run through the car accident as well, because that was, I could have done without that. Well, we could have done without that.
It's really, really unfortunate.
But technically speaking, my fault. So in the court of law, my fault. We could have argued the toss. We got a witness to back up a counterclaim, but it's pointless with the way it was. But we'll run through the car crash in a minute. Some might be looking at our garden and going, "Bloody, the garden's a bit of a car grass."
The garden's great. All our neighbours compliment our gardens. Only Neil complains all the time about it.
So I kept this garden green, and as I say, my mother had very green fingers with greenhouses and everything, and I've been quite adamant that we're not going to tarmac over the garden or put a car drive on here and destroy it. The other thing is, everybody complains about flooding on estates. Everywhere you go now, oh, our estate's flooded, it's all flooded. all the tarmacking, the flagging and the paving that everybody's done, the natural absorption of the ground, that's where your problem is. It's running off down the drains that weren't designed. So yeah, think about it. And there was legislation quite a few years ago when I was a councillor that anybody that put in drives, the material had to be porous. I don't know whatever happened to that. So if you did put in a run-in onto your garden, it had to be porous so the rainwater could go in. And you look at the rain we've had in the last couple of weeks, the water table is bump right at the top again, isn't it? Are we still in a drought? Have we still got a hosepipe ban? All this, is it 40% of our water is lost?
All I know is, like, we have back lanes here, and these developers want to build housing there because it's a popular area, they'll get a lot of money. But I cannot go in my little A-go around these back lanes at this time of year because as often as not the roads are really flooded and it can be quite deep, and I've only got a little low bottom car, so I don't even risk it at this time of year.
Well, at least you've got a car.
I have.
I'm going to get a little noddy car. If I get a Corsa or an A-go or anything, do they still do Fiat 1.2? I'm going to end up with the smallest micro car going tomorrow, and we've got another big road trip coming up. And I've got a massive road trip coming up in first week in February for a week. And then I've got to get back up to the nursery, so I'm just going to end up with a noddy car.
And then you're going to have to come back whenever your car's fixed. It's all really unfortunate.
Yeah, it's the way the mop flops. Right, I'm going to get up my ladder and try and... You're
not going to show me your car?
Try and... Well, no, we'll show you the car once we've done the garden. Let's just crack on with this. Right, so what I'm doing here, so it's quite high up at the minute. We are leaving some of the edging on, but you can see here now where we're just cutting off this crown. So good and steady progress. Jump on that side, and we'll be done in 10 minutes. That now, I think. Look, that's where we cut so far. Apparently, I've got blood on my nose. I've got blood on my nose. What have you done to me? Apparently I've got blood on my nose. Right, before we go and show you the car and say the car story, because that's a bit depressing, I think what we will do, I'm going to insert some Foxy clips. It's only about a minute's worth, not even that. So apparently this time of year now, you've got the breeding pair, scenting and things like that. So when I first saw this, I thought it was a fox and a cub, but it must be the vixen. But I'll come and show you something in the back garden, what we've had, what we noticed a while back. Look, come with us before I put the clips in. So down here is, I don't know if you can see, there's been some animal has been tunnelling down there, and it's not a rat or anything like that. It's bigger than a rat. Russia has been down there, has also been digging, so we're suspicious that there could possibly be a den under our decking. So as everybody knows, with decking, it can attract rodents underneath there, rats and things like that. They call them rats hotels, don't they? But
that's not a rat.
No. There's a very small gap, because what we can't understand, so which way's the sun going? What we can't understand is why we got the foxes in our garden, because there's no food source here, there's nothing exciting here. And so obviously Russia will be gone in 6 weeks time, so the January is the den making, the scenting, so they've been scenting on the tree there, mating next few weeks, and then apparently the cubs are born then March and April. So
it is relatively undisturbed, I suppose, apart from Russia and you.
You saying I'm disturbed? Do I look disturbed? Anyway, here's a fox in our garden. Watch here now. Right, so there's the corando. All looking all right on that side, isn't it? And then the corando has been corandoed. So basically this looks, I'm hoping, a lot more worse than what it is. So it's the front bumper, which is only plastic. There is a slight bit of damage on the radiator here.
Got a dent in there.
Yeah, that's just some pipe work that's is possibly going to need doing. That's the washer bottle, so that's gone for a Burton. The wing is intact. It has moved slightly. There's a slight ding there, but that can be pulled out, and obviously everything relined up. So we're hoping it's all going to be fixable.
It's just whether it's structurally sound still, really, isn't it? But I guess I still have to assess that at the garage.
So yeah, and obviously the main issue now is getting all the parts, because this is a bit of a strange car amongst other things. So I personally don't think I'm going to see this until at least March, even April, personally. But hey ho, the garage have been really good. Because it's a bit cold and damp, we're going to go inside and we'll explain what happened. So yeah, let's go and get warmed up and go and get a cup of coffee, I think. But yeah, there's the car. Hey, sorry, we were just going to explain about the car crash, and we got Sandra got sidetracked. So what have you been doing, Sandra?
So while it's daylight and before I have to go back to work, it's recommended to clean out old bird's nests. This is an old blue-tip bird's nest from last spring. Well, there's a nest in it.
Oh yeah.
Inside the box. So we want to remove the old nest outside the box because it can have parasites and things, and apparently so you meant to clean it out. But they nested quite early last year, so let's get it done.
So just before you go in there, I'm going to go and get a light, and I'll try and show you in there before we scrape it out. So I don't know if you can see inside there or not. Is it an egg?
Yeah.
Tiny egg, isn't it? We'll try and pull that little egg out. So there was chicks in here that have nested and hatched, and historically, I saw something moving on that. Once they have nested, they normally will come back. So a few years ago in our shed, we had robins, didn't we? Robin nest. Those really sweet. So we'll try and get this little egg out and show you how tiny it is. So I put that onto the palm of my hand, just give you some idea of the size. Isn't it tiny, that? Obviously, oops, not fertile, but just let me just get a coin out just to give you some idea of size. That's a teaspoon, and there's a 10p. So tiny.
So that must have not hatched, I think.
No, it's definitely not tiny. So we'll do that, and then we'll tell you the car crash story. Right. So again, that was north facing where we put that in. Oh, I will tell you again, the kitchen. The kitchen is probably not looking any different to what it normally is, but I gave this kitchen a massive deep clean yesterday. I mean, in an epic way. I mean, in an incredible way. And the living room, it was minging. It was seriously cleaned. You can even see through the windows now. In a big way.
I have contributed though. I've mopped all the floors, and a bit later we're going to tackle the little fridge.
Yeah, I won't even go in the little fridge, right? Someone's contributed by mopping the floor. I've scrubbed yesterday. Right, come on, let's go. We'll go in the living room and tell you this story. Yeah, Rasha. Right, so we're back. Sorry, it's been a while since we've actually done a few words from here, isn't it? Since Christmas, isn't it? You shrunk?
Oh, I've got nothing on my feet at the moment.
Oh, okay. Right, so Sandra's been off work for 3 weeks, and so she's back in work tomorrow. So, yeah, knuckling down to...
back to normal life.
Back to normal life. I've got approximately 6 or 7 weeks left before I return to the nurseries for the season. And as mentioned, we have got a manic 24-hour trip coming up in 2 weeks, which you'll see what that's about when we do it. And I've got another really big one coming up second week in February for several days. also, we keep meaning to mention, did you just miss your mouth then?
No, there's something in my coffee.
Oh, right, it's probably come out of that bird's nest.
Sorry.
So one thing that we keep forgetting, do you remember when we insulated the loft when I first came back? So we actually managed to get all that loft insulated and floorboarded before we had that cold spell. It was so lucky. The difference that has made in our, mainly upstairs in the bedrooms than anywhere else, has been incredible, hasn't it?
Really remarkable, actually. Yeah, I'm really surprised. I mean, several degrees difference on previous years, wasn't it? Even when it was bitterly cold.
So I think I did do a comment. So you keep seeing us splitting wood and doing stuff for our log burner. We do have central heating, and we have got a gas fire as well. The reason why we have the log burner is A, it's nice, and obviously the main room is our living room, and the other massive thing, haven't got any underwear, have we, is this. You see that? You can put wet things on a maiden in front of a log burner, and virtually overnight it just pulls the moisture out, doesn't it? So a lot of people at the minute are using these heated maidens. So just, if you are doing that, just be very, very mindful about damp that can incur, where the moisture goes to. With a log burner, it physically just pulls out the moisture.
I mean, however you do it, you need good ventilation even in the winter, otherwise the moisture just hangs around, doesn't it? It can cause mould and issues.
So again, even in a motorhome or a caravan, in a house, if you have got mould, it might sound really stupid or weird, and I'm teaching you to suck eggs. I know you know all about this, but crank your heating on full and open the windows for a bit, so that moisture has got to go out somewhere. Is the issue. Right, car crash. Sorry, we're waffling. Car crash. So we went out on Thursday. I can't remember. I think it was Thursday. So Saturday was off, and we didn't have the GoPro with us or anything like that. We were going to go into a local village. We were going to go to a new fishmonger. Mm-hmm. Then we were going to go to Camperland, so to sort out. We've still got a problem. So with the water heater in my caravan, to pick up another water heater for the caravan. And then on the way back, we were going to come back by a little, and we had our day plan, didn't we?
Well, as usual, you had my day plan, but I said, can we not be more than an hour, because I've got a shed load of things to do of my own as well. So yeah, it won't take long, he says. So off we pop. So
we were coming into a village, and basically there's a crossroads with some traffic lights. The traffic lights were on red as we approached them, so we were stopped, stationary. Traffic lights changed.
So Neil's lived in this area all his life. So how many thousands of times has you done that junction? I mean, it must be thousands.
Oh, yeah, I've driven. The last time I actually had a car crash, that was technically speaking my fault. Funny enough, was when I first met you.
When you went to the back of that.
No, it was on a roundabout.
Oh, the roundabout one.
Yeah, roundabout one, and then somebody shunted me in the bongo.
Anyway,
yeah,
but that was more than 10 years ago. So.
Yeah, years. But accidents happen. But sorry, and really important, we forgot to mention, we're okay, and the people in the other car are okay. But anyway, so we're coming to this set of traffic lights. I can see some cars going left, so they've got to give way. I've got right away, so I'm watching the filter, and then there's a Luton van in the distance, and there's a car in front of the Luton van, and they're edging towards us. Basically, I come to the traffic light. It's going to be a bit tight, but I've got enough time to turn right, and then I've got no idea why, but as this Ford, it's a Focus, wasn't it? This Ford Focus gets towards the traffic lights. It actually, the lady in it put a foot down and accelerated. So it's like, fucking hell. So 1 minute she's doing, I don't know, 20 miles an hour or whatever, but she literally, it was as if she'd gone into third gear from fourth. She just put a welly down. But this was my fault, technically speaking. I went into her, so it doesn't matter, whatever the excuse. It was our fault. We did have a witness to back up with what they saw, but it wasn't. You know, if you go into the back of a car or you go into a car, it doesn't matter. So at the end of the day, with the highway codes, if your route is obstructed, you have to stop. You have to give way, if they like. So
and you were trying to stop, but there wasn't then time to stop because you suddenly accelerated. So,
I don't know.
it was, yeah, awkward.
No, I mean, she was a more senior lady driver. Not that that makes any difference. But why she accelerated, I've got no idea. And I don't believe she even made any attempt. As the collision's about to happen. Obviously, I yanked on my brakes.
Yeah.
The ABS brakes came on, and I don't think she even. Anyway, whatever.
She ploughed into our driver's side corner. As I say, quite what was going on there, I'm not too sure. But it was at that moment where you're like, you think we're not going to hit, and like, oh no, we really are going to hit. It's like, no, it's just
If she tried to swerve, if she'd made any attempt to swerve, it
was within
for 4 or 5 inches. She didn't even make any attempt. She was just on a mission. Anyway, the main thing is cars can be fixed. We're all okay, and the occupants
obviously
of the other car.
We called 999 because they said they were worried I might have a neck injury or something. So I said I'm not happy about that. So I just called 999, and they spoke to medics and made sure that they were okay before we carried on. So
the strangest thing was there was 3 passengers. And the rear seat passenger in the Ford came off worse. So they allegedly had a seatbelt on, who knows. And then the other thing is we're with an insurance company called Darwin. I've got no loyalty to insurance companies. Every year I go on a comparison website. Anyway, we're with Darwin Insurance. And then for breakdown, we have somebody called Auto Aid. So Auto Aid we've been with for many years, and we've had 3 recoveries off them.
Sounds about right, yeah.
And they've always been absolutely amazing, and they will cover you if you've got a caravan. So we had a trailer tent incident where a wheel came off on a trailer tent, which was could have been really bad. Anyway,
so just to be aware, if you use them, you have to pay on the day. But no, they changed it now. Oh, when we first started doing it, you had to pay up front on the day, but you could claim it back. So have they changed that now?
Yeah, it's about 5 years ago. So you used to have to pay.
You used to have to pay just to warn people. You don't have to do that.
No, I phoned up Auto Aid. So say at the accident, made sure we were okay, got our car into a safe position. We had to push the other car off, made sure the occupants of the other car was safe. A local shop let them go into. Obviously there wasn't any police needed. It was just a collision. So I called Auto Aid, got a response straight away, including a text message. Then they'll be with me within an hour and a half, and they were there within an hour and a half. Got myself recovered, vehicle brought home. I phoned Darwin. They were absolutely amazing.
You missed a bit out.
What?
Easily done, but Neil hadn't. In fact, I need to do this myself. But Neil hadn't actually got details of his current insurers with the car, so I had to walk. Fortunately, it was only about an hour walk. I had to walk all the way back, dig out the current insurance documents and bring them back to Neil. So because obviously the driver of the other car needed to know our insurance details, so she had the registration number and everything. So anyway, so it was kind of fine because it. Yeah.
So I normally carry a document a document pouch with me.
Yeah.
And when I came back from the nurseries, that had ended up in a box to go through to renew anyway. So yeah, I normally carry my insurance and everything with
the
me.
one time you need it, and unfortunately it wasn't in the. But we sorted it. It was all fine.
Yeah. Anyway, so Darwin were absolutely amazing, absolutely fantastic. My car's getting picked up Friday of this week to go into the workshop for repair. I've got a courtesy car coming tomorrow, and again, it's going to be a Diddy car, which is going to be. It's not going to be an issue. At least I've got wheels.
It will be. For what we had planned, to be fair, it's unfortunately going to be an issue.
Yeah, we'll manage. I used to have a 3-wheeler. I had a little car.
Yeah, but one of the plans involved my 90-year-old mum and a
She's not
set
90.
of wheels.
She's 89. She's not 90.
She very soon will be.
Joan, who you saw in the video recently, her birthday's on Wednesday this week, and Joan is 99. My other friend. But the reason why I was just giving a really thumbs up to Darwin and Auto Aid, These other people were with AA Insurance and AA Recovery, and I still don't know how long they were just on the phone. On this hour and a half wait,
This poor lady, she got through at one point when I was there, and then they said, "What's the issue?" And she started to explain, and then she got cut off.
No.
So really not good.
So I'd phoned the insurance company, I'd been recovered and all the rest of it, and the poor occupants of this other car, they're still on the phone to the AA. I've got no idea how long they took, but we're all okay. And as I say, cars can be fixed and accidents happen. It's that's just the way the mop flops.
I'm not sure you'd be saying that if I'd been driving. But anyway, we'll see.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you're in your parallel universe, aren't you?
Yeah, you just crashed the car, Sandra. It's all fine. It'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
But you witnessed what happened. You were with me, so I made sure if I'm going to crash the car, that at least you were with me. Didn't do it on my own.
Well, you've done it twice on your own before.
So Vessel, when was the last? Let's Vessel. Let's see if Sandra will confess here. So
My speciality is non-moving objects, to be fair.
So when was the last time you had damage done to your ego?
What, the wing mirror?
The wing mirror. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, that's another collision you had. But yeah, forget that.
Collision. I just this really narrow lane. Just got the car first time out, or first week out. Really narrow lane at the back near home, and the car coming towards me just wouldn't stop. And boom, my mirror was gone.
Yeah, no, I forgot about that. No, not that one. There was another time, so when we first met, Sandra broke down, and where we are, we've got there's two lanes called Park Road, sorry, and she.
That wasn't a collision.
No, that wasn't. But no, it was just funny. She was on the wrong Park Road. Anyway,
no, I went to the supermarket, didn't I? And then thought it was on the right Park Road, and then
broke down.
Ended up literally in the middle of nowhere.
So this wasn't a collision, but an incident that happened in your car where the car got damaged. A little bit of damage. Can you remember?
Which car?
Your Noddy car.
Damaged? You mean when it got broke into? That wasn't my fault. It wasn't really.
What happened? Thingy there watching this now wants to know what happened, Sandra.
I learnt the hard way that the Ago boot, it's a good car and it can carry a lot with the seats down, but with the seats up, the boot's really small. So I'd gone out December, it was probably 2019 or something-ish. Got his birthday present on the way into work.
Christmas present.
Hey?
You said birthday.
Did I say Christmas present? Anyway, got this present on the way into work, realised it wouldn't fit in the boot, so I thought, well, that's all right. So I covered it over so you couldn't see, and somebody still broke in and nicked it and broke my lock on my car. And took the webcam, so yeah.
Dashcam gone.
Dashcam gone.
Christmas present
gone. And broken lock. That wasn't my fault, really.
But that's also the way the mop flopped. It's, again, at least there was nothing personal value. It could have been a handbag and all the rest of it.
Yeah. What was petty, though, is they even nicked my spare change, like my spare change for paying for parking and stuff. They nicked that as well. Like, why? It's like £5 or something.
They're bar stewards, aren't they? Absolute bar stewards. Right, so sorry, that's ended up a complete, real big long waffle and everything like that. So, and before we go, again, we will revisit this next one. People are going to have been saying what's going to happen to Sandra in videos when I'm back being a solo warden. We have got a couple of ideas. We're muting to get a little bit of content from Sandra over the season when we're away, and we might try and squeeze in another live before I go back. Possibly. So yeah.
But I am going to be mega busy from this coming week. Seriously, I've got a new job. I'm going to have to do new training. Probably going to have to take some exams and stuff. So it's going to be hectic.
Yeah. So Sandra's properly starting a new role. Right. Let's finish off there. So as ever, guys, thank you ever so much for sticking with us. If you made it this far, if you're a regular viewer of ours, we really do appreciate.
Just before Neil cuts me off. If I flinch occasionally, it's just because Neil's voice is very loud and it's right in my ear at the moment. Sorry about that.
I whispered before. I said Christmas, not birthday.
It's fine. It's just I forgot how loud he is when I'm stood right next to him. So anyway, do carry on.
I will carry on. You sure? So if you are a regular viewer, we really do appreciate that. And as I say, I'm trying to give you a little love heart on any comments, and Sandra and myself, we do try to make sure we comment on any comments and things like that. We appreciate you sticking with us and being regulars, and if you subscribe, fantastic. Big thumbs up to you. Right, let's get going. Stay safe, everyone. Once again, Happy New Year. Look after yourselves, and we'll see you. And can you see her there? There.
In the background.
Yeah. I know you're watching. That's it. Put your book down. Yeah, you start watching, and we'll see you on the next one. TTFN.
Bye.